How I Became Fluent in English. Hello, and welcome to another useful story at the English Great Stories channel, your go-to channel for personal growth, inspiration, and life-enriching stories. Today, I'm thrilled to take you on a personal journey, one that transformed my life and opened up a world of new opportunities. Today's story is all about how I became fluent in English. Now, if you're someone who's ever struggled with learning a new language, or if you're currently on the path to mastering English, this story is just for you. We'll dive deep into the strategies, the struggles, and the triumphs that marked my journey from a hesitant learner to a confident, fluent speaker. And of course, I'll be sharing some long and concrete examples along the way so you can see how these tips can be applied in real life. But before we get into the heart of today's story, let's take a moment to reflect on why learning English, or any new language, is so crucial in today's interconnected world. Whether it's for career advancement, travel, or simply the joy of being able to connect with people from different cultures, the ability to communicate effectively in English can open doors you never imagined. So let's get started and dive into the story of how I became fluent in English. When I first started learning English, I had no idea how much it would change my life. I remember sitting in my first English class, feeling both excited and overwhelmed. The language seemed so vast, with its endless vocabulary, confusing grammar rules, and those tricky pronunciation quirks. But what kept me going was a simple yet powerful belief. If others could master English, so could I. And that's something I want you to keep in mind as we go through this story together. The early struggles. Let me take you back to the very beginning. I was in my early 20s when I decided to learn English. At that time, my exposure to the language was minimal. I knew the basic greetings and a handful of words, but that was about it. The first hurdle I faced was understanding the sheer complexity of the language. English, as you might know, borrows words from so many different languages, and this can make it seem inconsistent and unpredictable. For example, let's talk about pronunciation. English is notorious for having words that are spelled similarly but pronounced differently. Consider the words read and read. They're spelled the same, but depending on the context, they can be pronounced differently. This was incredibly confusing at first. I would often mispronounce words, which made me self-conscious about speaking. But here's where the first important lesson comes in. Embrace your mistakes. Yes, I made a lot of mistakes, but each one was a learning opportunity. I remember once in a conversation, I used the word live when I meant to say leave. It was a simple mistake, but it taught me the importance of context and how even small errors can change the meaning of what you're trying to say. The role of immersion. Now let's talk about one of the most effective strategies that helped me on my journey, immersion. I can't stress enough how important it is to immerse yourself in the language you're trying to learn. But what does immersion really mean? It's more than just taking a class or doing homework. Immersion is about surrounding yourself with the language in every possible way. For me, this meant watching English movies, listening to English songs, and reading English books. But I didn't stop there. I made it a point to think in English. Yes, thinking in English. It sounds challenging, and it was at first, but it was a game changer. By forcing myself to think in English, I was able to internalize the language. It became a part of my daily thought process, which made speaking and writing in English much more natural. Let me give you a concrete example. I used to watch movies with subtitles in my native language. This helped me understand the plot, but it didn't help much with my English. So I switched to English subtitles and eventually no subtitles at all. The first few times were tough. I missed a lot of details and had to rewatch scenes to catch the dialogue. But gradually, my listening skills improved, and I started picking up new vocabulary without even realizing it. The power of consistency. Another key factor in my journey was consistency. Learning a language is not something you can do sporadically and expect great results. It requires regular practice. I made it a point to dedicate at least an hour every day to improving my English. This might sound like a lot, but it's amazing how much progress you can make with just an hour a day. For example, I used to start my day with a 15-minute vocabulary review. I would pick 10 new words and learn their meanings, how to use them in sentences, and their pronunciation. Throughout the day, I would try to use those words in my thoughts or conversations. At the end of the day, I'd spend another 15 minutes reviewing those words and seeing how well I remembered them. Over time, this practice helped me build a solid vocabulary base. Now let's talk numbers. According to studies, learning just 20 new words a week can significantly improve your fluency over time. That's over 1,000 words a year. And when you think about it, learning 20 words a week is totally manageable. The key is consistency. Whether it's vocabulary, grammar, or pronunciation, the more consistent you are, the faster you'll see results. Overcoming the fear of speaking. One of the biggest obstacles for many language learners is the fear of speaking. I was no different. The fear of making mistakes, of sounding foolish or not being understood can be paralyzing, but I knew that if I wanted to become fluent, I had to overcome this fear. So I made a conscious decision to put myself out there. I started by practicing with a language partner. We would meet once a week and have conversations in English. At first, these conversations were simple, introducing ourselves, talking about our day, but as my confidence grew, so did the complexity of our discussions. We started talking about current events, our opinions on various topics, and even telling jokes. This was incredibly helpful because it forced me to think on my feet and respond in real time, just like in a real conversation. Another strategy I used was recording myself speaking. I would pick a topic, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just talk. Then I'd listen to the recording and take notes on what I could improve, whether it was pronunciation, grammar, or vocabulary. This was a bit uncomfortable at first, but it was one of the best ways to track my progress and see how far I'd come. The importance of setting goals. Let's move on to another crucial aspect of language learning: goal setting. Having clear, achievable goals kept me motivated throughout my journey. I started with small goals, like being able to order food in English at a restaurant or having a short conversation with a stranger. As I achieved these goals, I set bigger ones, like giving a presentation in English or reading an entire book without needing a dictionary. For example, one of my long-term goals was to be able to read and fully understand a novel by an English author. I chose a book that interested me, something that wasn't too difficult, but still challenging enough to push my limits. It took me a few months, and I had to look up a lot of words along the way. But the sense of accomplishment I felt when I finished that book was incredible. It was a tangible proof of my progress. Using technology to your advantage. In today's digital age, we have access to a wealth of resources that can make language learning easier and more enjoyable. I made full use of technology on my journey to fluency. Language learning apps, online courses, podcasts, and YouTube channels became my best friends. For instance, I used an app that focused on spaced repetition for vocabulary building. This method involves reviewing words at increasing intervals to ensure they move from short-term to long-term memory. This was incredibly effective for me. The app would remind me to review words just as I was on the verge of forgetting them, which helped reinforce my memory. I also subscribe to a few podcasts where native English speakers discuss various topics. Listening to these podcasts not only improved my listening skills, but also exposed me to different accents and slang. This was particularly useful when I traveled to English-speaking countries and encountered regional dialects. Understanding cultural context. Language is not just about words and grammar, it's also about culture. Understanding the cultural context behind the language can greatly enhance your fluency. This was something I realized later in my journey, but it made a huge difference. For example, certain phrases or idioms in English don't make sense unless you understand the cultural reference behind them. Take the phrase raining cats and dogs. It's a quirky way of saying that it's raining heavily, but without knowing the cultural background, it might sound bizarre. To immerse myself in the cultural aspect of English, I started watching TV shows, movies, and reading books that were rich in cultural references. I also made an effort to learn about the history and customs of English-speaking countries. This not only made me more fluent, but also allowed me to connect with native speakers on a deeper level. Celebrating milestones. One of the most rewarding parts of my journey was celebrating the milestones along the way. Learning a language is a long process, and it's easy to get discouraged if you only focus on the end goal. That's why it's important to acknowledge and celebrate the progress you make, no matter how small. For example, I remember the first time I had a dream in English. It might sound silly, but it was a big deal for me because it meant that English was becoming a natural part of my thought process. I also celebrated the first time I was able to have a conversation with a native speaker without feeling nervous or self-conscious. These milestones might seem small, but they were incredibly motivating. They reminded me that I was making progress, even when it felt like I was stuck. So I encourage you to celebrate your own milestones, whether it's learning a new word, understanding a difficult sentence, or successfully communicating in English. The ongoing journey. Even though I've reached a level of fluency that I'm comfortable with, I still consider myself a learner. Language learning is an ongoing journey, and there's always something new to discover. Whether it's a new slang word, a different accent, or a cultural nuance, I continue to learn and grow. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that fluency is not about perfection. It's about being able to communicate effectively and confidently. So if you're on your own journey to fluency, remember that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to feel frustrated at times, and it's okay to take your time. What matters is that you keep going, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Conclusion, and that brings us to the end of today's story. I hope my story has inspired you and provided you with some useful insights for your own language learning journey. Remember, becoming fluent in English, or any language, is not an overnight process. It takes time, dedication, and a lot of practice. But with the right mindset and strategies, it's definitely achievable. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to English Great Stories and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. And if you have any questions, thoughts, or experiences you'd like to share, feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.